So we have this guy named Terry. I don't remember what outlets he's with. He might be with the Associated Press, but he questions here DHS Secretary on the chaos that is ensuing in the streets before all this stuff's taking place. And what I mean by that, again, at the time of this briefing was, 10 a.m. on May 11th. It doesn't expire till last night, meaning Title 42 does not end till almost 12 hours after this. And people are already lining up. Like we said, 700 to 800,000 people, somewhere in that range, 600 to 800,000 people in that range are already lining up all across the border states to pour in through the border here. And they're going to let them loose. And that's kind of why he's talking about, hey, there's like migrants just sitting in the streets, chaos, hundreds of them. What's going on with that?
Given the time you say this is going to take, and based on what you're seeing now at the southern border and beyond in Mexico, I wonder if you could offer some details, paint a picture. What should Americans in those border communities and beyond expect in the coming days and weeks? What's this going to look like for them?
We could see very crowded, as we are now, we could see very crowded Border Patrol facilities. I cannot overstate the strain on our personnel and our facilities. But we know how to manage through such strain, as difficult as it will be. I have tremendous confidence and pride in our personnel. Let me share with
you. Couldn't even handle what's been going on the last 2 years. What are you talking about? You're confident about handling the strain. You haven't been able to handle anything. I mean, on all fronts with the White House, they have not been able to handle anything, from the economy to foreign policy to domestic policy to the border. I mean, you name it, they haven't been able to handle it. And the dude has the cojones to tell us, oh, we're gonna be able to hold on. We're gonna hold on tight here. We're confident that we'll be able to secure this thing. Sure you will, buddy. Sure you will.
With you an example of how we managed through a very difficult situation. In El Paso, Texas, we saw individuals on the street. We engaged in a very sensitive and humane law enforcement operation to address that challenge, and we successfully have done so to the praise of the city of El Paso.
Can I just follow up? Our teams in El Paso say that there are hundreds of migrants now in the open, in shelter with very limited access to food and water and bathrooms for days. Why are they being processed? Is that what we can expect?
So we are working very closely with nonprofit organizations, with community groups, to really deliver a community response to the challenge. I cannot overstate how much of a challenge it is going to be, and how we all have to deal with it as one administration and one country. Fundamentally, we need Congress to act.
But you weren't saying that you needed Congress to act when you had all three branches of government being the Democrat Party for the last 2 years. But, you know, again, because Republicans hold the House, they want to target them, but they're not going to mention the fact that Democrats hold the Senate. But he'll praise the Senate. See, oh, thank you, Schumer, for sending us almost $1 billion more money of taxpayer dollars to go to a problem that we created. I want to give him a shout out for the omnibus package that was passed in December. All this knucklehead stuff. And great question here by Terry going, is this what we're going to expect? Yes, Terry. Yes, it is what you're going to expect, and you should expect, except it's not going to be hundreds. It's going to be thousands. Thousands.
I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.